This is my new to me Hobie Pro Angler 12 pedal drive kayak. It does have the Mirage Drive 180, which allows you to go forward and reverse. Tons of storage in it and significantly more capacity than my Hobie Outback. So really excited about this new kayak. I'm gonna go through today and add a few things that I prefer to have on the kayak, as well as remove a few items. In the back here, we have these two built-in rod holders. For me, I'm not a big fisherman. I'm not gonna carry rods in here. I'm just not gonna use these. And what they end up doing is, if you can see downside, there's water in there. They hold water. And it gets all gross and disgusting. So they actually make a cap that you can put over top of that. And then you can put another adapter for a tie down location. Up here, more rod holders. If you're an angler, you love it. For me, for what I use this for, with long haul camping trips where we're doing several days down the river, camping and having everything with us, all that means for those rod holders is space that's used up. So Hobie has had a lot of warranty issues with these kayaks. This is a 2022 year. Supposedly there's additional reinforcement in the back that helps prevent any of the cracking. The cracking has been seen here and here, where the legs of the chair transfer all of the load from the person sitting down. If you're standing up and you sit down and slam into the chair, say you fall backwards, it has a tendency to crack the hull back here. All right, we're gonna use the drill to vacuum this out. So we're gonna take this panel off. And this will have the rod holder inside. Lift it up. It's gonna be a little foam pad. We reuse that foam pad. It still has water in it. So I'll set that down without spilling it. Take this back over, line the holes up. Just put the cap, put the stainless steel screws right back in the same holes. So you notice I'm not using a drill here, I'm using a hand screwdriver so that we don't over torque the screws and strip out the holes. Just getting it snug and compressing that gasket underneath. Roll them all in, lined up. Make sure they're all snug. That's it. Same process over here. Rod holders in the front here. Again, I'm not an angler, so I don't really have a need for them. If you look inside here, they take up a ton of space. So we've got these covers that'll go over it. First step is, there's a gasket behind here that we want to save. So again, not using a power drill, so we don't want to strip the holes. We're going to take the 4 screws out. There'll be a link in the description for this kit that I got. So if you also want to do the same. Okay, 4 screws out. Now the whole rod is slides out. This gasket, I'll actually just leave it there, and we're gonna mount it back in. You can see this gasket still is fine, there's no damage to it. So we're gonna just clean these holes up. It looks like when they drilled, left a little bit of a mess, and I'm sure that if you don't clean these up, it just invites an opportunity for damage or for leaking in the hull. So just trying to be very careful and not scratch the hull, but clean these excess pieces of plastic off so that that gasket sits nice and flush. All right, we've got all those those pieces cleaned. There's one more. Get our backing for the screws. We've got our gasket and our plate. So we're going to put our plate right back over it, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-start the screws so they line up with the holes. And then we can slide the gasket over the screws, and then we'll drill them right into the backing. Not drill them per se, but we're going to use the hand drill, the screwdriver, hand screwdriver to. All right, so if you notice here, just going through, lining up the gasket. All right, we have the screws all pushed through the gasket. We're lining the holes up so we don't create new holes. They're all lined up. And then we just screw it back in. Hand tighten it. We don't want to compress the gasket too much, just enough. Now this is just getting it through the front. After we get through the front, we're going to put the backing on. So now here's the backing. All right, so the backing goes on the back side just like this. We line it up with the screws. You come in here. So as we press through the screws, they have the backing to hold into. Just a razor blade falling down. Again, just hand tight on these. Don't want to over tighten them and strip the holes, but you want to be able to compress that gasket enough so that you don't get any leaks in here. And that's good. Now we're going to do this one over here next. Same process, just repeat. Done. Okay, so there's the plate that the seat slips into. The front latch of the seat goes into here. And again, there's been a lot of issues historically with Hobies because this is such a small footprint. Now it is reinforced and they do have underneath it some foam for reinforcement as well, but it's still a weak spot. So again, here are these plates that we're gonna use to spread the weight across it. These are engineered to distribute the weight rather than have it in a single point here. So to get that plate on, we have to take the screws off, the original screws. So it's just an Allen wrench. You can see underneath that they're inserted, threaded inserts. And like I said, this is a new to me boat, not a brand new boat, so you can see already there's a bit of corrosion in there. So we're gonna quickly clean that up before we put the new one in. All right, quick spray to get all the corrosion out of it. And we're gonna try and keep as much out of the hull as possible. Now here's a plate. face down. It's for a Pro Angler 12. Line it up right there. Grab our foot holder and make sure that the lock is facing the front where the toe of the seat goes into. I'm gonna line it up with the hole. Now, because this plate's higher up, there are new screws that go with it that are a little bit longer. So we're gonna try and get these in. All right, right in the hole, nice. Get the second one in. Anybody has any recommendations for some T-handled Allen wrenches? I'd love to get a nice set instead of this old set from when I was 18 years old. And it still works, but it's just not as fast as a good T-handled set. Okay, so that's done. And then we'll switch over to the other side and get that done next. And we're done. All right, so this is the rear seat hub. We're gonna start by removing the screws that hold this down. And like I said, I really wish I had a nice long T-handle Allen wrench because I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get in there. These T-handle Allen wrenches, they work a lot better. So having Lowe's just down the street is both a blessing and a curse. Yeah, it's really corroded under there. Now for the next side. These are really corroded. You have to put some WD-40 or something on it to screw it back in. It's all just the corrosion on it. That's salt water. Actually, I'm pretty sure they gave me a whole new set that's a little longer. So, oh, come on. Don't tell me there's one of you that's... Wow, the corrosion's got it all tight. It's amazing what salt water can do. So quickly. Okay, now we have two enforcement brackets. They're virtually identical, but you notice this one, we've got the cable that comes through here that we've got to make room for. So that's going to go down like that. And then we'll put the other one on over here. And we'll go ahead. We have the new screws they provided. Put them in. All right, get it in the hole. One in, so I can get it loose. All right, get a little spray in there. That should not be that tight. So never used this stuff before, but the guy at the kayak shop was quite adamant that it's good. So we'll give it a try. Tight. At least it's turning now. All right, so added this little extension here. Take some of the tension off of the seat adjuster. So just gonna line these up. These were a little bit difficult to line up. I'm trying to make sure to not get the strap in between. All right, I'm going to strip it either. All right, couple small Plano boxes fit perfectly under here. It comes with this strap, so you can strap them down so they don't bounce around. And then we're gonna take the chair, the front end of the chair, the feet go back into the 2 pivot points. The back end will set out here, right on this holder there. And looks like it's a little tight. Stretch out over time. This goes around and over your chair. And that's it. And that locks in. So this goes over, and then this bungee comes over. Hold your chair in. This is a cup holder that attaches to the H-Rail, the Hobie rail. All right, so the way it is, it goes on, it latches around here, and then you tighten this up. And then there's this clamp, holds it together. So this goes over, you tighten it up, then when you pull this tight, it puts tension on it. So we're gonna go over. We have to feed it through. Start. When I get it level, it's the level I want. You can see this tensioner goes up underneath. Twist it with your finger. So it starts getting tight. And then flip with this tensioner. So it's not tight enough. Then you tension it a little bit more. And locked it in. Now it's locked in place. It's cup holding. Okay, so with this, you can use it if you want to go slide from that side into the Mighty Mount, or if you want to go, you can flip it around. It's got multiple different ways you can work it. It's basically just the exact same thing. It just goes around, over top of the rail like this, clamps on, the screw goes through the hole. And then there's a nut that goes underneath, a lock nut goes underneath. Slide it in there upright. And that's it. Do that 4 times and we'll center it up in the middle of it, and yeah, it'll be done. So for this Mirage Drive 180, they are not cheap to replace them. So this simple leash will work wonders to save you from if you take your drive out because you are in a shallow area and you set it on top of your deck, it falls off, and it may be a shallow area, but it may be dark water and you lose it, or you paddle for a while instead of pedaling, and it slides off. 1,000 different ways that you can lose your drive. So simple way, front here, put the leash through. This part here wraps around your Hobie H-Rail when you want to take your drive in and out, to wash it or just remove it completely, and you're in a safe area, you just unsnap it. Okay, so here it is getting attached. Just wrap the Velcro around your H-Rail, and I put it on the front one so it stays out of the way, and snap it in. Now you get your leash, it's out of the way, it won't hurt anything. If it does fall out of your kayak, you're able to retrieve it. I always put a flag on my kayaks. I just leave them on there so I get these good quality flags, and you can get them cheap on Amazon. You put it over your back end, you leave it on there. That way when you load it in your truck, if it's hanging out the back, you stay legal. You don't have to worry about forgetting it someplace. So it just goes through, and it's quite amazing how long these things will last. All right, here we are, all finished. Got the flag on the back. Got our containers, our Plano boxes underneath. We get the seat lowered. We've got the protector on behind the seat. Pull them out. We're gonna get the adapters here eventually to put something on top of here. Haven't quite figured it out yet. The front plates are on. We've got our cup holder. And then on the H-Rail, we have our leash and our mighty mount. And we are ready to rock.